Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the Jackass Collective YouTube channel. I'm Jordan, if you're new here, hello. And today I just wanted to yap a little bit about the slump I've been in, if you will, the knitting slump. I feel like I got kind of trapped in a stockinette mindset, if you will. A plain, old, boring stockinette, no thoughts, empty head type cycle, if you will. And I've been really bored with knitting lately, I'm not gonna lie. However, some people have been inspiring me. I want to talk about my fall winter kind of knitting project plans, as well as some inspiration I've had. And I just want to talk about color work, okay? I want to talk about color work. This summer I've been knitting a lot of like no thoughts, empty head type projects. I have a couple here that are, you know, waiting on some yarn. Just some plain stockinette in the round. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. However, it's not hitting, it's not doing anything for me. I'm knitting these projects just for the motion in my hand, and I'm sick of it, okay? And I want to talk about my inspiration. I want to show you some patterns that I've been eyeing. I want to show you some yarn that I've purchased. You can kind of see it down here for some project plans. And I just want to yap, okay? It's been a while. It's been crazy. I was at Knit City, Vancouver as a vendor for the first time. If you haven't been following me on Instagram or TikTok, which you should be doing, I'm Jackass Collective across the board. And I want to yap about some sweaters, so let's get into the yapping a little bit. I do have my computer down here, so if you see me looking, I don't care to try and like screen record my computer, so I'm gonna have this collection, is that what it's called on Ravelry? This little bundle of patterns that I'm looking at here that I've kind of put together as my inspiration. I'll link it below if you want to have a cheeky scroll. I'm gonna insert some photos as well as we're yapping. So let's get into it, okay? And I hope you have a beverage of choice. I'm drinking an iced chai with oat milk. And let me tell you about some of my inspiration, kind of what brought upon this moment, pardon me, this moment of like, oh, I don't have to knit stockinette, I can like branch out, okay? I would also like to say that I have dyscalculia, which is a horrible word to say, but I really struggle with math, color work charts, pattern recognition, that kind of thing. And so I've always told myself that I could not do this type of color work. However, that's incorrect. I saw a Instagram post came up on my For You page from krw.textiles. I'm gonna put it here. And they posted a photo of their Foolish Virgins work in progress. Who is the pattern designer of Foolish Virgins? I have it pulled down here. Cafe Facette. This is a vintage pattern, and the color work is crazy. As you can see, it's these kind of like jesters, Joker type people, and it's very, very detailed color work. And I saw this and I was just like, wow, what an heirloom piece. Like, what a cool piece to just like pick away at when you really want something to kind of not challenge you, but you know, something you kind of have to lock in and, you know, pay attention to row by row. I have been knitting, it's buried in here. I have been knitting my Ants in a Row raglan. It's here, I can see the yarn. My Ants in a Row raglan by the Leafhopper, Meredith, can't remember Meredith's last name. And it is a chart, color work chart. And it's been so fun to, you know, work up a chart and have the satisfaction of seeing it work up, and how kind of addictive it is to like, oh, you know, let me just get one more row and I'll see, you know, the butt of the ant or like whatever it is. And it's been really fun. And I did struggle with this pattern a little bit in the beginning, but once I kind of got in the groove of it, I was like, okay, I got this. And that made me kind of realize like, okay, girl, you can do a color work pattern. You can do it. You just need to get out of your head about it. So I saw the Foolish Virgins pattern by KRW Textiles, and they do incredible color work pieces. You should follow them on Instagram. They do some crazy cool stuff. I was like totally blown away by the color palette they chose. I think if I saw the examples that are knit up on the Ravelry page, if I saw these colors first, I think I would have been like, oh, you know, that's cool, but it's not for me. I saw the KRW Textiles version and I went, oh, these colors. And so I want to make this, you guys, and I bought some yarn for it already that you can see beside me here. I picked up some yarn from Longway Homestead at Knit City recently, and so I grabbed some of this beautiful, kind of like a dusty lavender lilac-y shade. There is 350 meters in each of these skeins, so this is going to be kind of like my base color, my base color. Wow, English. And then I picked up these two other colors here, more of a like marigold yellow and this like nice dusty pinky rose. This is a little bit more dusty in person. It's looking more like maybe a little bit bubblegum on camera. I would say in person it's a tiny bit like dustier, but I think these together, this is like my base color. This will be the majority of the sweater, and this will be some of the colorwork accents. Obviously I still need a few more colors, but I've got enough yarn in my stash. I'm sure I can pull something together. And you guys, it's time for another Jackass Collective make along, and I'm gonna obviously post more about that, but like really quick, you guys know, maybe you don't know, I hosted a titty top make along in the summer, and it was so much fun. I like to do a make along, not just a specific knit along, because some of you guys crochet, some of you are weaving, spinning, whatever the hell you're up to, and I love to see whatever art or craft you're into at the moment. And so I like to do a make along, open it up to the crocheters, and I think we're just gonna do kind of like a clown slash like jester themed make along. This pattern obviously is a big undertaking, and I think I'm gonna do 3-month make along with no expectations of finishing this pattern, but just to kind of keep each other motivated and see what we can get up to. And then I want to open it up to the crocheters, and I'm gonna do a video, you know, looking at other kind of clown or jestery patterns and blah 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 blah. But November 1st we're gonna be doing a make along, so keep an eye out for that. That video will be up around the same time as this one is, and I'm very thrilled about that. Foolish Virgins, I'm thrilled. This just looks like such a cool piece. The actual pattern is a cardigan, but you can easily modify it to be a sweater. And I actually saw a baddie at Knit City wearing this pattern, and she was on a mission. Okay, she had somewhere to be, and I couldn't even stop her to say that sweater. Oh my god. I did take a video of her like a creep, which I'll insert here. It's the back of her head, so I'm okay to post it. But I saw it and I was like eating a snack, and I'm like shoving food in my face, and I'm like, and I tried to like swallow my food down, and she was already down the aisle, so I just took a video like a weirdo. But back to my Ravelry bundle. I think, yeah, it's a bundle. My Colorwork to make me feel something bundle is what I've called this here. Again, it's linked below. This has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 patterns in it, and I'm only gonna knit 3 of them, maybe just 2, who knows. And the other ones are just really cool that inspired me. And I guess we'll go through the ones that I bought yarn for. So next up, this is the Fortuna's Wheel Pullover by Elspeth Vance. This sweater is so cool. I've had this sweater pants combo, like these 2 patterns. There's one for the top, one for the pants. I've had these in my queue forever, and one day I would love to make the pants with like a cotton blend. I wouldn't make like a matching set with this wool. That would be so expensive and insane. But this is just crazy. This is just crazy. This is a $30 Canadian pattern, which I'm not thrilled about. Okay, I'm not thrilled about that. Anything over $15, I'm like, that's a bit much. Okay, $30. I think it's from pounds to Canadian. The conversion is ass, but I love this pattern. I've had it in my queue for so long. I got the yarn for it, which I'll show you in a second. I just want to find the inspo photo. So I saw a couple people doing these gorgeous like oranges and these kind of ready, pardon me, ready clay type colors. There's gonna be photos on the screen, and I was just like, oh my god, yes, I love that. There's this lady here who is an icon. She's made the top and the pants, and I'm just screaming. She looks like she's having a blast. She did like some duplicate stitch work on hers, which I freaking love. I think that's so cool. And I love the green, obviously. I also love that this has the I love the neckline detail here. I've been doing a lot of rolled collars like that. Like I did that on my, whoa, I did that on my little baby tee that I've made here. So it's the stockinette so that it rolls. And I love the look of that like vintage hem. I think the theme with this Colorwork kick is that all besides one, these sweaters look very vintage, very like we're just not making sweaters like this anymore, okay? And they're just neat, and I love the details. But then, okay, so back to the wheel pullover, Fortuna wheel pullover. How do you say it, please? I saw this example here, and I love it. Oh, I just went back. Okay, I love this one here. The white to green contrast, it hurts my eyes a little bit. So I did end up getting some beautiful Corriedale wool. This is from Koigu. Beautiful, beautiful color. This like rich, deep emerald. And I got some New Wave fiber. This is, what is this? BFL Cotswold Romney and Lamb's Wool blend. Absolutely gorgeous, squishy 2-ply. I'm gonna be dyeing this because I think the contrast of this is too high. And like looking at this photo, if I look at it too long, I'm like, whoa, my eyes. So I want to do a little bit lower of a contrast there. So I'll be dyeing this kind of a mustardy, rusty orange, very, very low saturation. Like I'm not gonna do anything crazy bright. I'm gonna try not to do anything crazy bright, just for a little bit of a lower contrast. And then I picked up this, what is this? Dorset Suffolk Cheviot wool. Cheviot wool. Really squeaky brakes outside. And this is like a chartreusey kind of Dijon mustard. And I love this kind of like swampy color. The three of these all together, this as you know, the contrast detail, and these in the main body. I'm obsessed. And shout out to who made this. Don't know who made this. The photos are on the screen. Anyways, that's all that I bought yarn for. And I will say I am looking at some yarn for next up, the anemone sweater. I have had the pattern for this saved. Again, this is also an $18 pattern, you guys. Come on. This is Aran weight. This is knit with the Platelopi, the unspun like Icelandic yarn, which I will not be using because I don't hate myself in the fact that I want to be able to wear this sweater on my neck and skin without wanting to crawl out of my skin. Platelopi is not for me, but I love the way these colors look, and I love the fit of this sweater. And I think it's a raglan. I think it's a top-down raglan sleeve, but it doesn't look like a raglan, which I'm kind of enjoying. Like it's just very wide set is how I would describe it. I don't know. I think it's beautiful. Not the reviews, people that have made the project, like in the projects section on Ravelry, people are saying it's kind of confusing to follow, and the sizing isn't, yeah, the size inclusivity is not, it's not a good option here. I do have like an alternative for this pattern as well that we'll get to in a second, but I really love this, you guys. And you know me, I love colors, and I love a bright textured something or rather, like a statement piece that is like no thoughts, just throw it on, and it's a cool piece in its own. You can style this a million different ways. Oh, I just love it. And I do think I would do a pink and orange, depending on what kind of shade of pink. Like if I could do like kind of a magenta pink and kind of like a softer orange for a bigger contrast. It's fall, okay? I really get into the orange in the fall. I don't know what to tell you. I think I'm just gonna pick up some Cascade for this. I love Cascade, you know, all reliable, a workhorse, if you will. And, you know, it's cheap, it's affordable. I can get it, you know, locally to me. A nice alternative to the anemone sweater is the Daisy Sweater Chunky by Solvera Knitwear. This has a much more inclusive size range. Again, it's raglan. The only thing with this one is it's designed with like duplicate stitch. in the pattern. So you go back and you would duplicate stitch all the like the centers of the daisies. Fuck that. I would not do it. I hate duplicate stitch. I'm bad at it. It hurts my eyes. I do think it's a dyscalculia thing, like just trying to locate each specific stitch and the leg of the stitch you need to duplicate stitch into. No, hate it. So I was originally gonna get this pattern. It's also $12 Canadian, which is much easier on the wallet. But I do like the shape a little bit of the anemone sweater flowers. They're a little bit more like this, whereas the daisy chain sweaters are more like circular versus like, you know, daisy sweater, anemone sweater. I don't know how to describe it. And this is a little bit thicker, like this is a worsted weight. The anemone is an Aran weight. I think this is beautiful. I love the collar, like the chunkier collar. I don't necessarily feel the need to have a turtleneck. It doesn't get that cold here in Vancouver, you guys. It gets wet, sure, doesn't get that cold. Unless we have some freak storm blow down from like the Yukon or something. Okay, next up, let's see. Let's keep it in theme with the raglans. The halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter. You guys, I really like the look of this. And however, so when I'm talking about I like the look of some of these colorwork sweaters because they look very vintage, raglan construction is more of a newer thing, right? Like it's more of a modern kind of construction style, whereas, you know, a lot of vintage patterns are a front panel, a back panel, you work it flat, knit row, purl row, you seam everything together, you knit your sleeves flat, or you pick up stitches and knit your sleeves in the round. And I think even knitting your sleeves in the round is more of a newer concept. And so this, yes, is like a very modern construction. This has a vintage energy to me. I can't explain it. I love the color work. I've heard many things about this pattern specifically, and the yoke being like very long and weird. And I just think it looks so cool. Do I fish? No. Do I think it, you don't have to fish to knit a halibut sweater, but I just think it's so cool. This has 2,802 projects on Ravelry. I love seeing all the colors. There's, you know, modifications that have made this into a cardigan. Like, I just think it looks really cool. I don't see myself actually making this. However, I really appreciate this. I don't know. It's itching something in my brain. I love seeing the different like color combos of this. It's neat. This would be something I could see myself like gift knitting for someone. I have a lot of like nature gay people in my life where they work doing conservation work or research work in the ocean fields, and I think this is a really cool sweater. I love seeing it if it pops up on my Instagram. I think it's really cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? We're keeping it with the raglans. There's a lot of raglans. Okay, this one is so fucking silly, you guys. This is the Let's Boogie sweater by Caitlin. That says Katie, first of all. By Katie Franceschi. I'm sorry about that. I can see orange hair here. This is so cool. This again is $18, $19, which I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying, damn, that's crazy. Again, this is like the colorwork yoke. However, I do like that this adds the colorwork around the cuffs. I think it just adds something. Like, it's not just like top heavy with the color work being only in the yoke and then that's it. I do like how they bring in the color work into the sleeves here. I just think it's so cute. I can see myself making this for my mom, like as a gift for her. I don't think I would knit. I'm not sure what stitch is used in the body. I think they're just eyelets. Like, it's just kind of like a simple lacework eyelet. I think I would skip that part and just do it in stockinette stitch, but it's so freaking cute. And I think if you made this in like a cotton merino, hello, where is my voice going? Jesus Christ, I've been yapping all morning. Pardon me. I think if you made this in like a cotton merino blend or even 100% cotton, it would give that more vintage feel. I'm wearing a vintage like cotton just like a cabled pullover. And I think if you made this in a cotton, it would give that vintage energy. And I love this pattern. There's 163 projects in the queue. They all look so cool. It's just silly. And I mean, I used to be such a Halloween bitch, and I feel like the last couple years I just lost my like spark and my joy for Halloween, and this project just brought it back. Oh my god, this one is so cute. This is like an alteration of the pattern, I guess, but it's just so silly and I love it. And I would love to make this, like, in a perfect world, if I didn't have a day job and I could like spend my days, you know, knitting and making content and dyeing yarn, this would be on my project queue, but unfortunately I don't have the time for it. It's already like September 29th, so realistically not a good time to start this as a gift knit. And I do find it hard to find cotton merino blends with a nice color, with a nice range of colors, if you will. Like, it's very muted, and I get it because dyeing cotton and merino blends is kind of a pain in the ass, so I get it, I guess. What do we have? We have 3 more to look through. This one, oh, this one is so cute. Same with the Let's Boogie sweater. This is Here Comes the Sun by Olga Patuno Designs, and this has got the color work through the yoke, but then they bring it back into the around the waistline and around kind of your like forearm area. I think that looks so cool, and I just enjoy the kind of the balance that creates. I think this is so pretty. Here comes the sun, and it's not like suns, it's like these little kind of floral motifs. I think it's really pretty. I don't love the gray, but you know me, a lot of people did this with gray, which I don't understand. I just think it's so cool. There's such a, like, you can play around with contrast in some really neat ways. I just thought this was really neat, and I was looking through like stranded color work on Ravelry, like you can filter, you know, all the things, and I was like, let's see what we got going on for, you know, the stranded color work, not the intarsia. What did I say before? I was looking at intarsia, worked flat, and then after a while I was like, okay, let's see what we got in the stranded color work, and this one came up and I thought it was really pretty. I won't ever knit this. Again, the pattern's $13. I keep saying to all the more affordable patterns, I'm like, I wouldn't make that. That's so silly of me. I wouldn't make that. I just thought it was really cool. Just thought it was really neat. This next one here is the Planet Sweater by Laura Delgard. This is so cool. This is vintage looking to me. It's intarsia, bottom up. I just love this. It's so silly. What do the sleeves say? I can never read what the sleeves say. Moon? What do the sleeves say? Moon and something else. I just think this looks so cool. This would be something that, like, what weight is this yarn? Oh yeah, the sleeves say moon and sun. Moon and sun. Like, that's so cute. So it says Venus, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter. Honestly, I love this one. I just don't. Maybe I'll make this. I don't know. It's a bulky weight, 7mm, 9mm. I find it really hard to find, again, bulky weight yarn with cool colors, unless you're just holding like multiple strands of a thinner yarn together. This is something I might pitch to like a yarn company and see if they want to sponsor some yarn for me, and I could knit this, because 9mm and 7mm, that would work up so quick. This is only a $10 pattern. Whew. And the size is not great. The size chart is only extra small to extra, extra large, which is, let's see, circumference. Oh, I guess it is pretty positive ease. I'm getting hungry. My brain's gonna start short-circuiting. Circumference, 93 centimeters is the smallest size, and 127 centimeters is the largest size, so not great. It's in centimeters, so I'm a little bit confused as a Canadian, which is embarrassing. I think this is just really cool. I don't know. I feel like I would get a lot of wear out of this, and I think the only reason I don't have it like on my queue more enthusiastically is that it's bulky weight yarn, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to find bulky weight yarn. I could actually maybe see if the mill that I order from has like a bulky weight base that I could dye myself, but that seems like a lot of work, you know what I mean? This last one here, this is the Send the Conservatives to Space by Crochet, and this is not necessarily a pattern, more so just a chart that they used to create this sweater, and it's kind of like a guide, you know. Here's the chart. I think it's a front panel, back panel, left sleeve, yeah. So it's got front chart, back chart, sleeve charts with like basic assembly guidelines and color index, blah, 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 how to join the sleeves, whatever. More of a guide, not a pattern. And I don't know how many people, no projects, no one's made this, damn. This is a DK weight, 4mm crochet hook. The only reason that I am not like thrilled and enthusiastically ready to make this is because it's crochet, number one. Crochet gives me a lot of pain in my wrists, everywhere, it just fucks me up. And crochet uses a lot of yarn. I don't think she's mentioned how much yardage. No, there's no like yardage here. And crochet uses so much yarn. This piece is so cool though. And I think it would be so fun to make, especially the time and age we're in. And like from the front, it's just like, oh, space, hee hee, that's so cute. And then once you get to the back, it's like, oh, this is like a political statement, you know what I mean? So I think this would be really fun to make, and I would love to do this, but again, it's just like the yarn needed, the yardage would be so much, and I don't feel like buying that, you know what I mean? I don't feel like buying that. This could be a fun one to reach out to a brand and see if they would want to sponsor this project. I have worked with Cascade in the past, and I think it's just been Cascade this year, but this could be a fun one, and it would be nerve-wracking to reach out to a brand and say, hey, do you want to work? I want to make this. Do you want to send me the yarn for it? Because it is such a statement piece, obviously. It's a political statement. It's art. It's a political piece of wearable art, right? So reaching out to a brand would be maybe a little bit nerve-wracking to say that, but it would really weed out, I tried to say weed out and fish out, and I got wish. To weed out like what brands like don't want to align with saying send the conservatives to space. But that'd be fun to make, even just as like a tapestry. I don't know, I think this piece is so cool. And again, in a world where I didn't have to go to a day job to pay my bills and I could just make cool shit to pay my bills, this is something I would have higher up on the queue, but unfortunately it's just not doable at this time, which sucks. Yeah, that's color work to make me feel something, you guys. I saw that post by KRW Textiles and I went, it's time to lock in on some color work. I can't be doing these stockinette projects. I just can't be doing it. And I think I'm also gonna have to do like a little bit of a closet clean out and just kind of go through all of my knit pieces, see what I realistically wear. Oh, I was also gonna show you, I started the Loopy Studios Stripey cardigan, and oh my god, I feel alive while I'm knitting this. This has been so much fun. I'm using tons of my hand spun yarn. I'm using, whoops, this is mid-row. Love when I do that. This is, you know, my hand spun yarn, my like hand dyed, not necessarily like full skeins of my hand dyed, but you know, the loose, the leftover bits from knitting a sock sample or whatever the case may be. And so here we are. I'm so happy with how this is working up. It's insane, but I'm trying to do kind of like a 4-row stripe situation. So I kind of have 4 rows of color like this and then 4 rows of color like this. And so everything is kind of meshing into each other in a less chaotic and offensive way on the eyes. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's coming out really great because, you know, the yarns I chose were, yes, like all purples and greens and pinks and blues, but they're still very different. So I do have this like bucket of yarn here. That's so crazy. And I've been choosing like a little bit less saturated yarns. I did have, you know, like this yarn didn't make it, more saturated blues, and like I'm using, I think this is radioactive just to hold my sleeve stitches, and I was trying to use it and I'm like, it's too bright, like, so I'm like dialing it back, which is crazy. I don't know, I think it's really cool. And I don't ever use my hand spun yarn, you guys. I have so much hand spun yarn hoarded, and it's so cool that I get to use up a bunch of this. I will say I did have to size down the needles. This pattern is 6mm, I believe, and I'm using 5.5. Let me double check my statement here. 5.5, just because some of my hand spun was not thick enough to meet that 6mm gauge. It was just looking very loose and drapey, and I do want this to be a little bit like of a warmer cardigan, so I haven't I had to size down, and so I should have made the bigger size. I was making size number 1 of this pattern. It is like a free pattern on the Loopy Studios website. I should have made the size 2 because it is like a big oversized batwing cardigan. I think this is going to be a little bit more like less positive ease because I completely forgot to make the neck size up. And then it was like when I cast the sleeves off, I went, this isn't really that big or oversized. And it's like, well, you sized down your needle, you didn't size up in the pattern. Anyways, that's fine with me. I picked out some beautiful buttons for it, which this is long enough. You don't need to hear about my buttons right now. We can get to that probably like in a reel on Instagram or something. But yeah, that's what I've been plotting and scheming. Color work to make me feel something. It's coming into the gray months. I think we're officially in the gray season. The sky is just gray right now. It's not actively raining, but it's been raining on and off all morning, and it's gonna stay like that until, you know, March of next year. So these color work projects with these beautiful, stunning colors just give me a little bit of dopamine and something to do with my hands. And I think that's gonna be very important for me this year. I'm looking at a bag of 2 sweaters that I'm gonna frog because they're just stockinette projects that I've had sitting in a bag for a year, 2 years, some of these. So it's just time for a different era of Jackass Collective, and I feel like I've been like in a slump of like, I don't really care about the garments I knit, like I knit them to knit them, whatever. I want to level up. I want to level up my craft, if you will. So that's what I've been plotting and scheming, like I said. Thank you for watching this video. Like I said, I'll have the Ravelry bundle linked down below. You can check it out. I don't know when you're going to see this, but I am restocking the website. After Knit City, I'm getting all my inventory double checked and uploaded. I will be putting some sweaters on the website as like a little sample sale. You guys know, like once a year I put new knit or crochet pieces on the website that I just can't keep hoarding. So that'll be coming soon. October 3rd, there'll be new yarn on the website. Still no US shipping, sorry. Haven't figured it out. It's a pain in the ass and I don't feel like dealing with it. I do need to get on that, but it's just annoying me, so I haven't done it yet. ADHD, what can I say? And I think that's all I have to say. I think that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed to let me know what you're working on. Obviously, I love to know what you guys are working on, especially when you're watching like a 30-minute video. And is there any color work patterns that have been catching your eye? I'd love to know. I surely scoured Ravelry for hours just looking and looking, but I know I missed stuff, so I'd love to know if you have any ideas of some freaky little color work to get into. Keep an eye out for the Makealong like official announcement, and I will see you when I see you next. Bye.